Hi, we meet again. Still talking about innovation and ALT. Now we're going to talk about Module 2. So it's good for you to watch this short introduction about Module 2. Module 2 is going to talk about technology integration and locally appropriate ways. Again, there are going to be three activities. In activity 1, various issues where technology is used in a rural area and metropolis cities are going to be discussed in sophisticated schools and also schools which has a limited internet access. We're going to discuss that in activity 1. Activity 2, we're going to talk about how technology can be integrated into the classroom, start from a very basic theory, then move on to practical tips. Activity 3, we're going to talk about technology integration framework. 2 is enough to have a look at that. So that's become theory or framework that you can use in your classroom. Yeah. Now let's move on to activity 1. In activity 1, various issues will be discussed. You will see the brief overview of some statement by researchers about the use of technology in various contexts. So you're going to look at some researchers and good names in the area. Then you're going to look at some examples and ideas how to use technology or what technology can be applied in a specific context. Hopefully, then you should be able to adapt that and use that in your context. In understanding activity 1, then you should keep this in mind, these questions like, what should you consider when integrating technology in your English classroom? Is there anything that you need to be prepared? Are there any obstacles that might present a problem? It could be a network, it could be obstacles from the authority, it could be obstacle of your student's condition. Yeah. So keep that in mind while you're reading module 2. Now, activity 2, we're going to look at more practical. The purpose of using technology in the classroom, we're going to discuss that in general and how that can be adapted in various environments. Then you start discussing how beginners can integrate technology. Some teachers, they are not familiar with technology or they are reluctant in using technology, and how should they start, from which point. Yeah. Then you're going to discuss again the framework of technology integration. That's in the activity 2. Yeah. Now, some questions that you have to keep in mind while you're reading activity 2. Can you imagine teaching without technology? So if the technology is not present, what happens? When the technology presents, what can you do? Then you have to think of the rapid development of a very mobile phone. Think of difficulties for some teachers to start integrating technology in the classroom. The students, the teachers, they might need help. They might need an overview. So by reading this activity, hopefully you can have things in mind. You can give suggestions to your colleague later on. Activity 3, that's more on very theoretical discussion about TPACK, and then about summer. Those two framework are two popular framework that you can start with, start thinking about it, and consider that framework when you integrating technology in your classroom. Yeah. Now, some questions that you have to keep in mind while you're reading. Can you imagine a technology or, integrating technology without knowing framework? you might have heard about TPEC and summer. Think about that. What do you think about this framework? How can that be useful for you? And maybe what kind of advice that you can give to the headmaster or the authority of your school when they want to integrate this technology. Yeah. So module 2, it's a technology integration in certain contexts. Hopefully you can integrate that in your context in appropriate ways. Yeah. So at the end of this module, you should be familiar with the issues related to integration, technology integration. Then you should be able to discuss the purpose of technology use in your environment, in your schools, in your teaching. Then you should be able to give advice to your colleague when they want to integrate or use technology in their activities. Yeah, and you should be able to discuss, connect what happened in the classroom when you integrate technology with the framework, or put it the other way around. You understand the framework, then you try that to adapt the framework in your context. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again later in the next module. Thank you.